EXALTY to win this match if they want a chance at second place. Orcs, GP, NuaLaoch technically are completely out of any chance of making it. They sit at 3-3 with a +1 map differential. Even if they get a 4-0 over EXALTY, they will only be on +5, so BS Plus competition would retain that second place. So yeah, it's BS Plus competition, it's EXALTY or it's HOMYNOTSUN who will end up with that second place spot. For two of those teams, BS Plus competition and EXALTY, EXALTY need to beat HOMYNOTSUN for their chance to pick up that second place.
Oh, that is straight away with the Frosty pick coming through. EXALTY seem to love it right now. I don't know what has happened, but their teams have just suddenly decided, I like Frosty now. So sure, yeah, we take those. Wow, okay, that's an interesting first four for us. The first guaranteed four, Off-Road, Frosty, Vortex, Sinuous.
Frosty and Sinuous are the two picks for EXALTY. It's their first time playing Frosty so far this season, and on Sinuous, I believe they've probably played it at least once, right? They have. They played it three times. They picked it 3 times. They've won on it 3 times. So they're starting to shake up this format a little bit. They're starting to maybe go with some off-the-wall picks, and if Frosty works out for them, all of a sudden EXALTY become a little bit more of a threat in the postseason. The fact that they can move to Frosty, they're not banning it away. If EXALTY win this match, if they do manage to lock themselves in second place, they move on to face alternate attacks. They sit there, Twiggy, as one of the teams that I think can get away with banning speed and then potentially throwing some other curveballs in alternate attacks direction and really taking a match to them.
Very possibly. I think that might be the idea that's going on through. They're using this as practice now that they are guaranteed in the playoffs. Maybe that's one way you could think about looking at things. Because really, it's guaranteed that to win, you're going to have to beat alternate attacks at this point. You're probably going to come up against alternate attacks if you're going into the grand finals. And therefore, if you want to get first place, you're going to have to beat them. And so maybe at this point, it is all about trying to come up with strats that work against alternate attacks as well as other teams.
It is a little bit early, maybe, for EXALTY to be, planning fully for playoffs, because second place is still on the line, and we've talked at length about how important picking up that second place would wind up being for MiQuattro and Link. And isn't it crazy, Twiggy, that we're in this situation where we can talk about MiQuattro and Link and how they have a very real bid ongoing for second place? This team got eliminated. They're not meant to be here. They got their spot back when Finame Racing made the decision at the start of Stage 2 that they could no longer commit enough time to be competitive in the Challenger League, and took themselves out of the running as a result. And here EXALTY are, nearly a top 2 team.
One of these things is not like the others, I think, is the way we would put that. It is very interesting, the way that they have bounced back, not only from going into the relegation, or promo relegation tournament, but also not getting through the promo relegation tournament, losing that spot to Ascent this time around. Well, we'll see if they can warm up a little more into this map. Either way, HOMYNOTSUN they did seem very kind of well practiced on here. Last time we saw him, at the very least, one player was getting a good time every single round up against. I completely forgotten what our last game even was. Sorry, it was a 4-0. I forget games that quickly. Easy Dream, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Easy Dream have been eliminated, and therefore they no longer.
I don't know who are they.
Brain. Yeah.
Well, no, they're going to be playing up against Sprout later on, so at the very least, something will. They'll re-enter my memory, but either way, MiQuattro now trailing from Feed and Enna. It's looking good. I mean, they're warmed up at the very least into this one. Both players setting a 59.8 there. MiQuattro and Link will trail back. It's not a bad round for MiQuattro, and it's not horrible for Link, especially considering it is the first round here, but they're going to need to step things up.
There is kind of that positive and negative element, both of the fact that HOMYNOTSUN have already played a full match today. Positive in that, they're warmed up, they're locked in, they have the muscle memory starting as well. But fatigue potentially is going to be a little bit of a factor as well. Back-to-back long matches is a possibility. I say long. The fact that they 4-0'd their first match has definitely helped them stay fresh for this second one. But if EXALTY can really make a battle of this, even if they start to drop behind, if they can bring this to map 6, map 7 potentially, HOMYNOTSUN, I think, are going to be the team that is worse off for it. Although EXALTY have a second match today as well, so wouldn't be ideal for them if this one goes long either.
Well, with Link failing the speed check earlier on, McQuattro has taken up the mantle of first here, and Feed and Enoch trail this time around. McQuattro's got a little bit of a better line heading through as well, maybe a little less speed, but again, that gets balanced out a little bit by the reactors here. He's very much tenuously keeping first position. It's going to be close on the finish line. 28 thousandths separate McQuattro and Link, but he does manage to bail out his teammate here. Link needs to warm up a little bit quicker. That's 2 rounds in a row. He's made a fatal error that has dropped him back more than 4 seconds, but at least this time around, McQuattro stems the blood flow a little.
Yeah, much better round from McQuattro, getting that 59.8 that we expect to see from these players. We want to see from these players in round-winning positions, and it was just about enough to hold off both members of HOMYNOTSUN, keep a single point in it for EXALTY, and potentially give them a chance to fight back here on off-road. It's still going to be a little bit of an uphill climb for them, and I'm not just talking about the identity or this turn.
No, yeah, whatsoever. I mean, either way. This time around, HOMYNOTSUN have a player trailing. This is EXALTY's chance to push on through and try and get themselves some meaningful points here. An ace back in HOMYNOTSUN's face would be incredibly nice. Feed still in first position, but he goes a little wide, clips his back wheel there on the corner, and now this is their chance to get things done. EXALTY, I mean, this is one of the more consistent identities we have in this map pool right now. It is one of the ones that has the least fail rate. If they can't do this here right now, then this would be a really awkward position for them. Link almost misses the checkpoint. He gets it done, though. It's absolutely fine. It's a post 1 minute time, but it's not the end of the world whatsoever when Feed and Enoch trail by almost a second each.
I'm just looking at the numbers for this map as well, Twiggy, and I am shocked to see that this is only EXALTY's second time visiting off-road this season. Every other team has played it at least 4 times. Most of them have played it 5 times. Some of them have even played it 6 times across their 7 matches so far. EXALTY are only visiting it for the second time. They did win on their first visit to the map, and they'll be looking to keep that 100% conversion rate on it against HOMYNOTSUN, who did pick this map away from EXALTY here to kick things off. And EXALTY, they're definitely on the pace now. It took them a couple rounds to warm up into it, but HOMYNOTSUN, if they were hoping that that advantage would help them, that they are warmed up coming in, it may have taken them a little bit too long to really capitalize on it. EXALTY have made a couple of mistakes this round. Feed and Enter do sit in first and second, but Link is just behind.
Yeah, Link may just be able to catch up to Enna here. He's a little wider, which again will give him a little more speed. Maybe not if he goes that wide into the jump. Feed and Enna stay in first and second position. It's all going to be down to not hitting a tree, not missing a checkpoint here. Link is a little wobbly. He'll have to slow down getting on through. Feed sets a 59.774. Everybody else post 1 minute. But more importantly, it's the ace for HOMYNOTSUN. They are on the cusp of winning their first map in the series.
Yeah, a lot of aces in this match. 3 so far, and then a single draw. This one is firing ahead, and it really is just because of the pace that the players are bringing it. Every player is kind of pushing it to their limits, it feels like, already here, just on map 1. And that kind of playstyle is going to lead to mistakes, is going to lead to players crashing out, but it's also going to lead to great times as well. This time around, it is Link who makes that first mistake, and we'll see how much he is going to get punished for that one as well. That speed check up the hill might be a little bit of an issue. Is continuing to bleed a little bit of time away. Now nearly a full second down, as we'll keep an eye on what kind of pace the players are on here. We do have someone in chat pointing out that a 40.7 would be a great time here. 40.9 pretty much coming out of there is a very strong pace coming through from both members of HOMYNOTSUN.
Yeah, especially on the Challenger League. That's a really, really nice one coming on through. It's enough to set a new Challenger League record if you get a very, very clean end of the map here. Let's see, 59.410 is a new Challenger League record. Oh my god, I'm so that was so good from me. That is a clippable moment right there. That's an well done.
Yeah, I mean, hey, shout out to Iridium in chat giving us the information on exactly what is considered good checkpoint times out of the ice slide there. Prescient timing on that one well. As we will move to Frosty for what? Is this the 4th time now that we visited this map? The 3rd time that we have visited this map this season. Yes, that is true. HOMYNOTSUN have visited it once. It did not go well. They did lose up against BS Plus competition on that one.
Yeah, well, the current Challenger League record is well over a second away from the world record here. We've yet to see anybody absolutely push it on through. I mean, we should really, I feel like, be seeing a 105.6, I would say, is kind of where I would put a team that knows this map well in the Challenger League kind of skill range. Link goes a little far on that little, what would you even call it? A bug jump? A bug slide jump? Like, I don't even know what that's even called. Is there a terminology for the way you kind of get a little speed boost when you flick yourself through on that? Either way, I don't know. Yep. Feed crashes out on the ring checkpoint there, and McQuattro is now in first position by quite a long way.
Yeah, his managing to hold off will no longer be in front as he parks the car inside a checkpoint just there. Link is a long way behind Enner now. McQuattro sits in 4th place, Feed in 2nd, and we'll see, does Enner keep it clean through this identity? We have at least seen the players of HOMYNOTSUN on this identity before, so we know they're capable of completing it for sure. How quickly they can do so is going to be a whole different matter. Enner does not need to be all that quick about making his way through, at least on this first round. It's clean through the first spin. It's looking to be clean through the second spin as well. Very nice indeed. And then we'll pick up first. Link is less elegant through those final turns, it looks like, but will still finish. McQuattro got close to catching Feed there, but crashed on the finish line as well. And HOMYNOTSUN will pick up the first round.
That was definitely a Frosty round right there, for sure. One of the Frosty rounds. I mean, if we look at some of the times that are being set on here, I mean, like... If we look at the best times for every player that has played this so far, obviously we have our 106.239 from Arthur. His teammate's best time on this map, a 109.054 from Zera. Feed, best time, 107.074. Enner, 106.869. And then Glass and Snow are the other two players that have played this one there, kind of in the middle there. EXALTY, still yet to set a time under a 107, obviously. They've only played one round on it so far. It doesn't look like they're going to be improving on that just now. Enner, off to a brilliant start so far. It does seem like Enner, this is his map as opposed to Feed.
EXALTY, this was their 6th match of Stage 2. In their 5 previous matches, they did ban Frosty 5 times.
Yes, exactly.
They have picked it here on the final day with a lot on the line, looking to try and get that 2nd place spot locked in. So far, it's not looking like that gamble has paid off. Enner is on pace for back-to-back round wins. Is going to crash the line. Nobody's close enough to catch up. It would have been a pretty strong time, and it's close to being a snipe from Feed at the end as well. But it will be a draw. EXALTY remain only a single point behind.
Yeah, I'll save my judgment until later on in the map. Obviously, you know, we've seen...
It took them a little while to warm up into off-road as well.
We see long warm-up times on every map, especially in the Challenger League. So that's
especially
not
Frosty. It's very cold here.
Exactly. I'll save my judgment on that one for now. But yeah, right now, not quite understanding where the pick came from on this one as their first pick. And then, well, Sinuous is their second pick. Another map, which is, I mean, although Link and McQuattro do play that one a little more, it's still a little out of left field there. McQuattro, it's a little bumpy on the exit of the jump there. Feed and Enner will move into 1st and 2nd position. Feed looking for a PB here, but Enner does take up the mantle of 1st place once again. Things are looking difficult for EXALTY, and the map might be over before they even have a chance to warm up into it.
Man, Enner is looking great today, and it continues on Frosty. It was that bobsleigh over on Control as well. I don't know what it is, just anything with a little bit of ice. Enner is all over it here on the last day of Stage 2. And this time around, has a teammate to back him up as well. Feed sitting in 2nd. Enner will look to cruise on through. Is going to just about dodge, but it's going to compromise the line through the final turn. These are some wildly illegal wall bangs, but we'll let him away with it because it's 2 seconds off that Challenger League record anyway. And it is going to be an ace for HOMYNOTSUN, moving to 6 and 2 on the map.
Yeah, things not looking so great right now. Did EXALTY just not get the memo that this has actually been played already 3 times in the Challenger League? They really just wanted to, on the final day of the regular season, make sure that we're not getting another gyroscope. No, it's not. Yeah, we've already played it a few times, guys.
You didn't appreciate it. But,
you really didn't need to, but thanks.
I definitely do appreciate it. And Sinuous as well then as their 4th pick. Remember yesterday? Remember when Sprout picked Sinuous in 4th and we discussed how, you know, maybe they were expecting to have at least picked up a map at that point, and Sinuous was their off-the-wall pick to try and, you know, maybe shake things up in the middle of the match, catch alternate attacks off guard. It ended up being them heading into that map 3-0 down and losing on Sinuous on their kind of off-the-wall pick. So far, for EXALTY, I'm nervous that that's where it's going as well, but this is a much better round start for McQuattro at the very least.
Really good, in fact. Feed and Enner have made mistakes, but still, Link's time is not bad whatsoever either, so both players from EXALTY maybe, as we said, just taking a little while to warm up into this map, and things are looking okay for them now. Should be the free round, for free ace, in fact. And no matter what happens here in the identity, again, you can't really, like, fall out of the identity. It's a path with walls on either side of it, so nothing can go horribly wrong. Well, anything can go wrong with reactors, but it should be absolutely fine. McQuattro gets through. 106.779 is a convincing time as well. Link will follow through in second place, and hey, well, that's a lot better. Maybe we're going to see a little more of that from EXALTY. Maybe it just took a little bit for them to get going. Obviously provided by, you know, an interesting round from HOMYNOTSUN, but maybe sometimes that's just what you need.
A round to forget for HOMYNOTSUN there.
Yeah.
For sure. EXALTY will pick up an ace. They're right back into it there. It's a great time. The best time, I think, so far in this match from McQuattro with 106.7. Better than anything either of the HOMYNOTSUN players have set in their previous entire full match on this map. And now in this few rounds.
Bye.
Well. That's, yeah,
and McQuattro, cheating on their teammates with each other. There's an affair going on here in the Trackmania Challenger League.
Oh, no.
That's interesting. They were holding hands all the way.
Link
Oh, yeah, Link went.
that's
fair enough. He was nowhere near making that ring. He was just like,
heartbroken.
Okay, fair enough.
Just, you know, rings were going to remind
Romeo
him of
and Juliet situation
in his marriage, and off he goes.
Unlucky. Oh, well, Feed by himself now. Maybe he just wanted some peace and quiet, you know?
It's lonely at the top, you know? Yeah. Sometimes you can outrun your problems.
Yeah, hey, Feed employing my life strategy right now, it seems like. The way Link and McQuattro seem to be pretty secure in second and third position, because Enna has made a multitude of mistakes, all of which started with, you know, leaving his teammate on the doorstep. But Feed setting another 106.8. Now both players from that team have that time in hand. As their best times hit. But yeah, another draw goes their way. They will be on 7 points. They can close it out now, but EXALTY are close behind.
Yep, that is Feed beating his teammate's previous best time for this map by 5 thousandths. So, wow. Yeah, it's pretty close. They're driving very similar pace here, our HOMYNOTSUN, at least on their best rounds. On average, it's all over the shop, but that's to be expected from a map with as much ice, with as much flicking as goes on here, as Feed and Enner come out absolutely the best forward, and that may have just decided this map in their favor, as McQuattro and Link will be a ways down now. HOMYNOTSUN, they just need to keep clean. Enner, that's going to be an awkward recovery. He's going to fully hit that ring. No way through. McQuattro, at the very least, should re-overtake there. It may be a little bit harder for Link, and yeah, we will see on the splits where Link does end up on this one. Once again, Feed is just out cleanly at the front, and that is a very strange mistake indeed.
Yeah, in the middle of the booster hitting the wall there. Interesting one. At least he got the little speed boost from the booster anyway, so he doesn't lose too much speed, but either way, it's all good. Takes the inside line there on the dirt. McQuattro is going to have more speed through the engine off block, but Feed gets a slightly better drift, and it's neck and neck going into the identity. Who's going to get it better? This is a really awkward identity to go through. McQuattro does have a better line there, a much better line as well. Overtakes, makes sure they get the... Oh, that actually could have been a round win there, but Link does bonk on the checkpoint, and doesn't quite work out. It's a good round either way.
That's got to be a wicked point for Link, right?
I didn't really
that was
see
a backwards 360 across the finish line.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Bounced off the wall.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, like, it's a soft wicked point, but you know, backwards while spinning across the line, that was pretty impressive.
We take those. And yeah, no, it's going to come down to it once again. EXALTY need that extra point. If they get a round win, things are looking a lot better for them. Considering, I mean, every player has been slightly inconsistent, so I don't think there's really a massive advantage for either team. If they're on... Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh my lord, that was close. It's fine. It's fine.
That was fully entering bullet time there for Link.
Yeah.
The cloak flapping as he leans sideways to dodge away from that ring. And it's worked out. It's put EXALTY fully into the driver's seat on this one. McQuattro in first place. Link in second. Feed has dropped further away from the pace on this round. And this might be it. EXALTY with an ace. Tie up the series and give us what feels like our first non-sweep in a long time as well. The Challenger League has gotten the brooms out for this final week, but EXALTY are going to put them back away. McQuattro and Link keeping it clean. Link's going to get very close to the wall, but managed just hold on to it. And it's going to be very, very close to the record. Will not set a new Challenger League record, but will tie the series up.
Well, there you go. Okay. Hey, you know what? EXALTY, fair enough. Can't criticize it if you win the map. Can't criticize the pick if you do get the win. So there you go, a 10-8 scoreline. It was close. Let's you're not fooling anybody with that one. It was definitely a I don't know, tenuous win, but either way, it was a win. That's what matters, whether by an inch or a mile. So EXALTY do get their map pick. Now we move on through to Vortex. Let's see if it can be. I mean, this is such a cool guaranteed 4 maps. I'm so happy about this.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to continue to be pretty fun as we move on down the list as well. Now heading to, at the very least, 5 maps in this series, and it will be Pool as map number 5, which is, look, it's just genuinely always a good time when we get to visit Pool. And the fact that we are getting to at least 5 maps for the first time this week, Twiggy, this is our 6th match of the week, and it's the first time that it will not be a sweep.
Yeah, absolutely insane. I mean, you know what? So I mentioned in day 1 when we had 3-4-0s, I was like, I was really looking forward to today. I was really looking forward to getting back to some Challenger League, and you know what? I didn't. Today was the exact opposite. I was like, I can't wait for more 4-0s. I can't wait to get on camera for 4 hours and watch sweeps over and over again. And hey, look, my expectations have been completely destroyed. EXALTY have managed to pick Frosty for the first time and stop the sweep from happening. So hey. Beautiful. Had a quick tactical timeout. Should have said something about that so you guys weren't confused, but there you go. It is what it is. What, you had to wait another 20 seconds for the game to start? I
wonder which team it was. I'm going to take a guess and say it was probably HOMYNOTSUN. Or, I don't know, maybe it was EXALTY. It's a 50-50, and I'm not going to commit either way, so that way I can't be wrong. miQuattro has the lead.
Yeah, you felt the need to bring it up, but then just didn't commit to an answer. Very interesting, either way. Yeah, so miQuattro in first position for the time being, and trailing by just a little bit. Feed manages to get things going too. Link is a little further behind, but not out of the running, especially on a map like Vortex. Anybody could mess up that ending. It is very easy not to get the optimal line on through here, especially if your setup's a little bit wonky. Now miQuattro stays in first, gets on through cleanly. Enna is through cleanly as well. Feed comes on through, and there's no speed advantages going on for anybody whatsoever. So miQuattro across the line with a convincing 105.7. Link is trailing by a little too much to manage to get any more points for the team. 1-1 to start things off.
Yep, very solid start there from miQuattro, setting good times, keeping the pace up, showing exactly why we were so sad about the potential of losing him from the Challenger League in between the stages, as that will be Link just about keeping the wheels on the road, not flying off completely. It is going to be miQuattro, though, once again out to that lead, but it's a very, very tenuous one for the time being, as we have 3 players taking the outside line, but other than that, it's kind of really only Dexter who seems to go for it consistently at the very least.
Yeah.
3 players in this match are going for the quicker line.
Yeah, I think it shows. You know, Link is already down by 2/10, and he hasn't driven anything badly. He's just had to slow down due to his line there. miQuattro gets a little an awkward exit from the water, has to take a more outside line, and Link takes up the mantle of second place, but not for long. miQuattro does have more speed, Feed in first place, and I'm down by not too much whatsoever. It's a really tight grouping for a map like Vortex as we move towards the identity. Can it stay clean? Oh, Link almost had to release, did have to release, I think, actually going in towards the identity. Oh no, where has Feed gone? miQuattro is in first position. Enna has overtaken Link. I don't think that's going to be going back the other way, but miQuattro is really doing well here. Link manages to get third place. That's exactly what they needed. They move to a 3-2 scoreline.
Got a little bit nervous there for miQuattro on that final turn. We did see on Thursday with Arthur that it is possible to clip a back wheel on the exit from that final turn if you stay a little bit high. And miQuattro is testing the limits of how high you can stay without possibly catching that wheel and losing time at the very last possible second on this map. It's worked out, though. It has been 2 round wins for miQuattro. It's now a round win overall for EXALTY, and they gain a lead on HOMYNOTSUN's map pick here. It's the first time HOMYNOTSUN have picked this map. It really is a match where both teams seem to be kind of trying things. They're throwing new things at this final week in their bid to pick up second place. And so far, it's kind of worked for EXALTY with the Frosty pick. Well, it remains to be seen if this Vortex pick is going to work for HOMYNOTSUN. This round, definitely working for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is, both of these teams do not have convincing scorelines here on this map. Both of them have played it less than 4 times. Easy Dream, well, both of them have only won it once out of the times that they played it. HOMYNOTSUN have played it twice, so it's a 50% win rate. Easy Dream have played it 3 times, 33.3 recurring win rate there. But neither of them really have super insane stats on them, and I think that shows their feed once again, not quite making it through the identity. miquattro once again coming in first position. 3rd round in a row that has happened. Can Link get the overtake done? No, not possible, but close. And once again, EXALTY keep that lead.
Just to go on a slight tangent for a very brief second here, Twiggy. Did you know that there are multiple mathematical proofs that prove that 0.9 recurring is equal to 1? Yeah. Like, it's not that it's close to 1. It's not that it's very similar to 1. 0.9 recurring is 1. Yeah. They are the same number. Which is really fun.
Too watch random YouTube videos that come up in my feed.
Yeah, it's really fun. They're really interesting proofs. Maths, it'd be crazy. Link is currently trying to hold off both Feed and, well, his teammate as well, miquattro, as both of them went around the outside there. miquattro lands a little bit further back on the reactor, and so gets a slightly wider setup here. It's helped them through the bobsleigh and is going to regain that lead. Link has made a large mistake somewhere in the middle of that, and Feed will slide out. His teammate will be coming up behind any second now, but miquattro fully uncontested in the lead.
Indeed, and yeah, I mean, miquattro really seems to be confident on this map. I don't want to jinx anything, but 3 times in a row, sorry, got first position, looking like it might beat 4 times as well. It seems like consistent on the identity. Again, don't want to do anything to jinx that, but yeah, once again, real good. miquattro keeps alive the team. Link has come in last place 3 times now, and still they have not lost any points due to that. miquattro setting out a 105.8 as well, another good time, and yeah, nothing more you can say. If one player is consistently getting first position, you're going to win the map.
There is time to be gained against miquattro. It's 105.8, it's fast. Dexter's Challenger League record is kind of a long way in front of what we do expect from a lot of these players, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that HOMYNOTSUN can put together a time, can put together a round that would beat miquattro, who is consistently driving these 105.8s. And at only a single point behind, they only really need 1 round where one of their players manages to do that, to get themselves straight back into this, to potentially regain a lead. And the smallest of leads, when 2 teams are looking this even, can be huge. Enner makes a mistake, as Link made one earlier. Enner's look to be the more punishing, as miquattro sits behind Feed as we head to the back half of the map.
Yeah, well, considering this is HOMYNOTSUN's map pick, I don't think they were ready for miquattro to be this convincing here on this map. Right now, Feed is ahead, but Feed has failed that identity twice so far, and in double as many rounds, so 50% success rate on the identity is not quite a stat that I would want attributed to me, and gets it done this time around. It was close there on that final twisty part there, but he gets it done. 105.578 as well. Very good time. So maybe when he gets through it, but unfortunately, Enner. I mean, the one time miquattro didn't finish first.
Exactly, but that's literally what I was saying at the top of the round. miquattro puts in, again, essentially a 105.8. There is the possibility that HOMYNOTSUN can put together the times to beat that. Unfortunately, yeah, it is the round where there is a big mistake towards the back, and Enner is sitting in 4th, and they can't capitalize. They can capitalize on this round. miquattro maybe needs to step up from that 105.8, because if he gives up first place on this one, it's looking like it's HOMYNOTSUN managing to tie things up, potentially even get the lead if they can put together an ace.
Yeah, Link is somewhere. I don't quite know where, but either way, miquattro is going to have to come in first place to stop anything bad from happening this time around. 6 seconds down. It's pretty much a death sentence. miquattro, I think, slows himself down on purpose there in the water, knowing that he's off track. I'm not sure. I think he definitely... His wheels were turned when he exited the water, so I think he actually did that on purpose. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, it's working out.
It's worked.
Yeah, he's closed the gap to Enner and Feed. I think he knew he was going to slide out if he kept going that way, and he has more speed going into the identity. He might just be able to overtake both players. Can he get a double snipe going? It doesn't matter if both of them crash. It doesn't matter at all. That's amazing. miquattro takes first place. Oh, no, not now.
Link, not like this. That was the round win. You you had it. It's a draw. It is one of the draws of all times. Link is going on a journey, a magical journey somewhere to the ceiling. He's decided he wants to finish, and he will do so with just about time remaining. EXALTY, it's been a lot of draws. It has been a lot of rounds of Trackmania. They remain a single point ahead now. HOMYNOTSUN have not managed to win a round here on Vortex. And that means EXALTY are the first team to break the 7-point mark, to give themselves track point. But I'd be shocked if they can close it out with an ace at this point. That is not the flavor that this match has had.
Oh, well.
Oh, MiQuattro.
Oh,
no.
I'm not sure what's happened on the entry to the dirt there, but seeing as Link takes the slower line, it will guaranteed give HOMYNOTSUN the first 2 plays. Never mind. Link somehow this time around has not lost a full second on that exit into the reactor boosters. Don't know what happened, but it's absolutely fine. So he is right up next to Feed. Oh, no, never mind. HOMYNOTSUN in a 1-2 position, may just be able to make it 9-7 scoreline, but MiQuattro zooms through. Can he make up 8/10? That is the test of a man's mettle right now, is can he get that big of a lead overtaken? Well, it depends, obviously, on this identity. Feed and Nena both missed it last time around. Can they get it done when it matters? Yes, they can indeed. It's not going to be the end of the map, but it will be HOMYNOTSUN taking the lead for now.
This map has absolutely exploded with excitement in the last couple of rounds. It was still a draw in the last round. It's been a lot of draws. It was 1 round win for EXALTY all the way back at the start, and now it is an ace for HOMYNOTSUN. And all of a sudden, we sit at that 9-7 scoreline. We're guaranteed a winner in this round, and it's HOMYNOTSUN who have the best odds of making it happen.
Yeah, I mean, well, Link has not had a convincing position, has not ended in the top 2 once. In this matchup so far, so I don't see why that would change this time around. And considering that
content,
because it would be content, of course, that is indeed the way it looks. But right now, Feed Nena in 1-2 position, and even if MiQuattro gets first, Link is going to need to join him up there, I think. Oh, no. MiQuattro just disappeared from the screen. I thought he bonked something, but I think he's just a little further back than we can see right now. It's not the end of the world, but it's not looking good for EXALTY here, Brev.
Brev, they are going to need 2 crashes from the HOMYNOTSUN players here on this identity. Feed is getting close to the edge there, is managing to hold on, and with everyone making it through, HOMYNOTSUN
the first round Link get into the top 2
to do, and it's a good time from Link as well. He hits that 105.8 mark finally. MiQuattro is just a little bit too far away, and Feed was too quick anyway. HOMYNOTSUN will pick up the map on Vortex, and to be fair to Link, that was their opponent's map pick, right? It's okay that it went against them. They still made it very competitive, and we now go to Sinuous. This is EXALTY's choice, and it's a little bit off the wall, so if they can pick this one up, we go back to a tied series, and it is still very much anyone's match. Well,
EXALTY are the only team that consistently pick this map. They have a 100% win rate on it, 3 maps played, and 3 maps won. 22 is their track score differential here, and I mean, yeah, they are very convincing on this map. The only team that they've really been beaten by in pace is indeed Easy Dream. Worker setting a 102.058 here, which is 2/10 quicker than the best time from any other team. So very, very convincing on that one. I don't see why HOMYNOTSUN should be winning this, but they also do have a 100% win rate here. 1 out of 1 game. It was a 12-0. They didn't really have to work for it. I'm not going to lie. Their best times are not even close to any other teams, but that is because the only time they played it, they were against a team that couldn't play it.
Yeah. And, well, just as a reminder, if you are a BS Plus competition fan, or indeed a BS Plus competition player, you really want EXALTY to win this map. You really want them to go on to win this match. And you are delighted at the fact that if they do go on to win this match, it will take at the very least 6 maps to do so. The less that they can increase their overall game score during a win here, the better it is for BS Plus competition. Link will start off with a strong round here, picking up a win. A 102.3 is a great time to kick things off. Feed is also looking quick, though, and it is MiQuattro who is letting the side down a little bit, 1.5 seconds down on this first round.
Yeah, let's not go into the team rivalries. We're all just here for good esports. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
good
here for the heartbreak.
Enna? I mean, Enna just didn't fly. Like, just didn't bring his wings to the party there. Yeah. Unfortunately, and is now 2 seconds down from the rest of the pack. Now Feed in first position, but both players from EXALTY, well, after McQuattro's little mistake, were looking very clean here. So time now to get the same thing done, take their map pick, get things over as quick as possible. As you say, it's really important for them to just get as good a map differential as they can.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we have the question in chat, no, what if I'm an EXALTY fan? And the answer is, would you believe you want them to win? And ideally,
who would have guessed?
They do it convincingly. That would be good for EXALTY in their bid to take a second place in the regular season here. And they are looking good on this round. Link and McQuattro in first and second place. The identity to go up the hill. We climb. Hard to see the cars.
Ooh,
it's not far screen, but they keep it clean. And Link has hit that 102.3 mark 2 rounds in a row. McQuattro proves he can do it as well, and they will ace HOMYNOTSUN to move out to 4-1.
Okay then, right, that's more like what we're talking about here. EXALTY showing why this is their map, and showing that it is solely theirs here after all this time. You know, it is interesting because we never really think about this map as being any team's kind of thing, but EXALTY have had very convincing scorelines on this one. It's just that we don't see it often enough to like know. And yeah, I mean that's just the way things have gone. I mean, they do have a 40% ace percentage on this one, EXALTY. That has increased just a little bit after that round now, but really important that they keep that one up. And the thing is, HOMYNOTSUN are not taking this one lying down. Apart from a couple of mistakes, they have looked relatively quick here. And
it's honestly, Link's performance is possibly the most impressive thing about EXALTY on this map right now. So often McQuattro is just, look, there is a better player on a lot of these teams, and McQuattro is just quicker than Link on a lot of these maps. But right now, Link is not only looking very quick as he tries to chase down Feed here. Feed may manage to hold on, weaving through the scoreboard up there. Will manage to set a 101.983. Link still hits his mark of 102.3. It's just that is a new Challenger League record on the other side by 3/10 quicker than Link was going.
Oh man, I think I just heard I just heard the producer groan. I didn't. It's muted, but either way, wow, that is, yeah. I mean, good enough. Full 10th increase there on the Challenger League record. Perfectly done. And yeah, usually when we see somebody setting consistent times that are better than the other team's best times, we're like, well, you just gotta go quicker. There you go.
Yeah,
done.
There you go. It's Link in these first 3 rounds has beaten his previous best on this map 3 rounds in a row. He is driving incredibly well right now. And yet it's Feed who just set a new Challenger League record. That is very, very impressive indeed. Going very quick, and going very quick on this round as well. But it looks set to potentially only be good enough for a draw, as Enner is about 6/10 down on Link at the moment. McQuattro and Link are forced. Just watches Feed's tail lights head off into the distance. Feed seems to have just found another gear on this map. A 102.098. Feed is just on another level right now.
Feed now holds the first and third Challenger League records here for this map.
Back-to-back rounds.
Back-to-back, yeah. First and third there, with Worker splitting the difference with the previous Challenger League record. Absolutely insane so far. Well, I mean, we'll just have to see if that carries on. So far, this has really been a tale of 2 teams with very similar kind of best maps going on, and just constantly surprising each other with their different picks and being able to contend with each other on a close level. I think this is the closest matchup of any 2 teams in terms of pure skill.
Yeah, but based on the way this round is going so far, the fact that we are heading towards potentially a tied map, it's a very close match, but it could still end in a 4-1 for HOMYNOTSUN if they can pick up Sinuous on the way through here. Feed and Enner will take very different lines on the exit there. Enner got very wide on the inside, but they're very close together now on the exit. Enner is drifting up that hill, but just setting up for an easier line through the trees on the downhill. This is very, very quick indeed. 102.1 for Feed. Enner is on a 102.3 time as well, and he's being dragged along in the wake of his teammate.
Feed now holds the first, third, and fifth Challenger League records for this map. Absolutely insane. Now the one player splitting the difference there is Complex from OrcsQP NuaLaoch with a 155, holding fourth position on that one. Feed is kind of dominating the leaderboard on this one now. I'm excited to see how that continues because, I mean, we thought Link was consistent for the first few rounds. Feed has been consistently, you know, getting 102 flat kind of area rounds for the past 3. That's wild.
Feed's best time coming into this map, to be fair, having only played it once before this match, was a 102.52. That was the pace that he was driving, and he's just come in and is now consistently driving 4 to 5 tenths faster than that. That is incredible improvement from HOMYNOTSUN on this map, and you can't blame EXALTY for taking them here. They were not ready. I don't think anyone would have been ready for HOMYNOTSUN to have this all of a sudden in the back pocket, ready for playoffs. I think is the secret weapon.
Another 102
this
flat.
Is once again a 102 flat from Feed. They ace 3 rounds in a row, 2 rounds in a row. Is 2 rounds in a row after Feed set a new Challenger League record? I don't know, man.
Feed now holds the first, second, fourth, and 6th Challenger League records on this map.
Good lord.
Okay, something is happening. I'm not.
Did Feed just, I don't know, like sit down and practice this map for 24 hours straight?
So usually, this is unprecedented because usually when you see somebody set a record, they crash in the next round, right? That's just how it works.
Oh, it finally happened.
It took 4 rounds for it to happen, but it did. You
said it out loud, and Karma was like, "Oh, wait,
hold on a sec, I forgot." Yeah,
I forgot to take him out of one of these rounds. That means this isn't over yet.
How heartbreaking would it be if EXALTY got an ace here and then just closed out the map?
Oh, it would be really cool.
It would be good content. It would be amazing content.
Fantastic.
Oh no!
Clip, all of a sudden, Link is so slow though. His gears were incredibly scuffed through that ice turn, and that means that he is not that far in front of Link. MiQuattro is just going to try and close this one out in first place, but it is the battle between Enner and Link that matters, and Link crashes out fully. Feed is going to be sitting there as well, and Link one more time up that identity. It's the second time of asking, because on the first time, when it was needed to save the map, could not get it done.
I mean, a well-deserved map win there for HOMYNOTSUN. It took a few rounds for Feed to get warmed up, but oh my lord, that is some wild
possibly the
time.
Best string of rounds from any player on any map over the course of stage 2. Just like genuinely so consistent, so quick, completely shut down the EXALTY in that course of 3 rounds. Just turn the entire map around, potentially turn the match around, and potentially that is going to be the difference maker in HOMYNOTSUN becoming the second place team in this regular season.
Well, another map that has always been a bit of a close one in terms of Challenger League record times here is Pool, where Panda increased it up to a 183, almost broke the world record before it was decreased even further by Massa. And I mean, this is one of those other ones where we thought maybe we're going to see Challenger League players taking world records. I'm not sure if it's going to happen with this lobby. These aren't the players that are as best practiced as some other teams are, but still, everybody is well practiced on here. It could happen.
It could still happen. And it could still be EXALTY finding their way back into this match as well. It's once again looking like a strong start for them. 2 players up the top in this round. Link had some very good rounds. It was overshadowed then by the fact that Feed just ascended for a few rounds after it. But Link started off really strongly on Sinuous just there. And is starting off strong here on Pool 2. MiQuattro and Link just in front of Enner, who just drives completely straight. And that means it looked really good for half a second, but meant that his setup was slightly worse for entering the pool here. He's going to go low. He's going to hit this outside wall. There's no way to avoid it at that point. Link and MiQuattro will pick up the round win, and it's an ace. 105.6 is a strong time from MiQuattro. We've seen better, but it's enough for an ace.
Well, we were talking about how these 2 teams had very similar map pools going into this one. And once again, both of these teams have won twice out of the 4 or 5 times they have played it. A 40% win rate for EXALTY, a 50% win rate for HOMYNOTSUN. Pretty much even score lines in terms of track score overall. I mean, they have identical stats, like identical. Genuinely, the best times from both teams: 105.517 from Miquattro, 105.522. 5,000th, sorry, away from feed. So again, nothing to separate the two teams. It is really just going to come down to how well they drive in the moment.
Yeah, and Miquattro will need to have a series of good moments over the course of the rest of this round as well, because it is up to him to hold off Feed and Enter, and it's not going to happen as Miquattro will crash into a checkpoint. A flawless execution on the caster curse as HOMYNOTSUN will look to execute on this lead they have been handed. It's the safest line possible from Enter through that first turn. Feed stays a little bit more risky, but is absolutely not pushing this as hard as he could. Enter will stay safe on the second turn as well. Clean. There's a big enough gap to the back. You do what you gotta do. They will pick up a counter race.
Yeah, Feed and Enter are, you know, two of the players. I think we've seen it from them a lot on this map. You don't get it. You didn't get the full 180. That do that. That go straight up. One player goes for the risky line. One player goes for the safe line on the inside there. And I love that. I love that. I think that's a brilliant strat to go for. Having one player push for great times, and then the other player just, you know, try and get some points.
They do that.
They do that.
Yep. I am an adult.
Not in pool though. That's a bad idea. That's a toxic hazard.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
I used to be a lifeguard. Bad idea. Bad idea. You have to call everyone out of the pool, and then you know, nobody's happy.
Yeah, it's just not a fun time for anyone involved. Yeah. That's good life advice there from Twiggy. A whole new segment on the Challenger League broadcast. Enter and Feed are holding off Link for the moment, who will need to transcend the end of this round a little bit. Maybe not, as Feed will just decide to slam his car into the side wall just there. It's now Link versus Enter for first place. Enter has maybe looked a little bit less comfortable on this identity, but won't matter as Link fully slides out. Enter got through by taking the safe line, trusting that his opponent would not make it through on the risky line, and it's a gamble that has absolutely paid off as Enter cruises home to an uncontested first place. Link is very slow through the pole. Miquattro has taken second. Feed should be up the road in third place. Has yet to finish. Will finish now, 6 seconds behind, as Link is just going to bounce off a few more walls and try and slide across the line. Twiggy, I don't think that's a wicked point at the end.
No, it isn't.
I don't think he managed to turn the car enough.
He's trying, but it's not happening.
It was an effort.
Yeah, no. Unless you get the full 180 done before you cross that line, it's not. I'm not giving you anything.
Yeah.
Especially because I know Link is the only player. He's DM'd me about this on Twitter. He's the only player that's actively trying to get points for the league. So I'm holding him to a higher standard than everyone else.
That doesn't seem fair.
It is fair. I think. To be fair, I wouldn't give anyone else a wicked point for crossing the line on their side.
Yeah, I just love the idea of, like, engage with me, and immediately you get punished for doing so by getting held to a higher standard.
Yeah, exactly. Never talk to me is the lesson that we have learned from this. Do not talk to me ever. Either way, now Feed and Enter slightly in the lead, but need to maintain that one. And in this round, same story, slightly in the lead.
Holding on for the moment. Link has been competitive up until the identity in a few rounds here so far, but needs to clean up this identity on this round. Enter still going for the safe line every time around, but EXALTY are just not showing the ability to punish on this identity. Link is a little bit slower, despite going for the risky line. Miquattro slid out completely, and this is HOMYNOTSUN cruising to a safe ace with a 105.5 for both players. As they will
not quite true, is it?
Not quite true.
Not quite true.
Twiggy, don't call me out immediately. Give me a couple of seconds to finish wrapping up the round, and then call me out on the fact the 105.573 plus 31 thousandths is actually 105.6. Okay,
604.
Calm down. Yeah, okay, Twiggy, we get it. You can do maths in your head. It's very impressive or whatever.
No, it isn't. No, it really isn't. This is basic stuff. Either way. I love being called a nerd in Twitch chat. Anyway, Miquattro and Link now with a mammoth task to get things done. Hey, I was joking. Don't actually call me a nerd in Twitch chat. That's rude. That's just rude.
That's mean. We don't do mean things around here unless it's
we never do
Twiggy,
that,
in which case it's absolutely a-okay by me. I decide that is totally fine. Link and Miquattro versus Enter. Enter has looked good on this identity, has set up a safe line, slows down early, and it works most of the time, but it works because EXALTY make mistakes, and right now no mistake has come through. Miquattro is close. Link has made the mistake. Miquattro is going to be quicker around the outside by by 23,000. Finally able to punish Enner for taking the safer line, but not by much.
Sometimes I wish I had one of those voice changes where you could add reverb to yourself, and just so I could go cube, you know, and have it sound like a you know, like a deity.
Yeah, no, I understand exactly what you mean. Is it a good
thought
idea to give you that much power? No, absolutely not.
Oh, I do have one of those, but it would take too much time to set it up, and I would miss, like, talking.
I think you should set up one of your guitars or a synth or something, and then you can add musical stings to some of your statements.
I think that's a very bad idea. I think that's what that is.
Really cool.
Either way, OMYNOTSUN now only need one more point to close out this map, close out the series, in fact. A really important one for them, and Feed, once again, has... I'm going to call him the MVP after that performance on... Can't remember the name of the map. Yeah, Sinuous, of course. We see it so little that I forget the name of it. But either way, yeah. And once again on a tear.
Enner
in first
so
position.
safe.
Yeah, exactly.
No
Enner has done a really
this.
good job of backing this one up, and I don't think he's going to make a mistake here. That's the thing. Going for those lines has just been so consistent that EXALTY have to push to get the overtake done. Gets the overtake done, doesn't matter. Feeds in first position. It's over. All done. 105.465. Very nice time to close things out. It's a draw. It doesn't matter. 10-6 the scoreline to close things out, and OMYNOTSUN take the series 4-1.
By far the closest match that we have seen so far this week, Twiggy. It still ends 4-1. We didn't even make it to map 6, but it feels a little bit unfair to EXALTY that was the result, because OMYNOTSUN had the unfair advantage of Feed just becoming a god for 3 rounds on Sinuous and just absolutely stepping up huge. That turned the tides completely and locks in OMYNOTSUN, the second best team in the regular season in Stage 2. They have done incredibly well for themselves. They deny any possibility that BS Plus competition and EXALTY can take that second spot for themselves. And it does mean now that we are playing for the rest of the day for seeding from 3rd place down to 6th